What's up, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of the Jovial Pursuit Podcast. I'm your host, Jovi, with my co-host, Brandon. How are we doing, Brandon?
It's been a great week because my dog. I got a dog. Got
Is it
that
home
dog.
now?
She is home.
Nice.
She's awesome.
All right, tell the people names, what you got going. Color of the collar. That's important.
So I don't know how everyone else does it, but I couldn't choose like a specific like leash collar. Like I kind of wanted, like we have like the harness, and then she's got like a pink collar. And that's mostly because like our daughter was like, it needs to be pink, dude. Yep, kids. I'm telling you, when you have kids, the kid says something, and you're like,
when I tell you my instance of no, listen,
right.
there's some things that get a pass. I don't do pink collars.
Okay. Remember how we talked about how the internet keeps receipts, and now you're saying like
Facts. You know what? Hold me accountable, internet. Go ahead, hold me accountable. Because the day I fall off, I'm expecting one of you to be like, but didn't you say, you know what, John Smith of Facebook, you're absolutely right.
Okay. All right, but
you're
here's
not
the thing.
In the dog anymore because the internet told me to stay strong.
No, because that's probably what will happen. Because it'll be something where like someone calls you out and like, hey man, you need to be like held accountable for it, and you'll do a cutaway right as the person's about to like show the receipt for why you're wrong, like last time. Oh,
sir,
no,
sir,
I've been
do
holding
we
on
need to
to it.
go through this again?
I just want the entire internet to know when the man was like,
Oh my goodness,
you don't like watch my things that I send you. Not true. Not
you know
true on
what's
the timeline
crazy
because I
is you're a
watch it.
terrible
It's fine.
liar.
Don't do this.
Brandon.
Don't. We're not gonna have this thing where you're like,
it's okay,
trying to make it.
Hey, it's okay. Calm the spirit. It's getting riled. I hear you. Your feelings are understood and heard. But what I have to say on the back end is you're a liar and you're a terrible person at
trying
that.
to do
I
this.
just don't even understand why you would go through such lengths. Do you know how petty it is to hold on to such a thing for a week? Just the moment we start the show and then you want to go popping up. What's going on? Hey, let's talk about it. No, it's fine. Let's take my seat back. It's okay. Go ahead.
All right.
No.
First of all,
proceed.
that's not That's not how I sound as a therapist. I don't go,
no, you're right. It's a little bit more based on the, you know what I'm talking about. Come on.
I've been holding on to it because I wanted to get even. Because you cut away and then you did a double cutaway.
How is that working for you, sir? You're getting red in the face. It's okay though. I just figured it might be hot.
No, it's so cold here right now. Like, so cold.
I guess that could cause a red face too, not anger or embarrassment or feeling the need to validate oneself. That
we're gonna go anger. Just anger on this one.
Okay.
Because
Here's
Jovan came in here
y'all.
and I tried to call him out, and he's sidestepping it that he did the cutaway when I was gonna like hold him accountable, as he's like, hold me accountable, internet. Hold me accountable. No.
You're not the internet. I didn't ask you. The pure audacity.
Excuse you. Fine. Fine.
I love you, dude. You're great. You're a fantastic person. You help many people. You're very kind. But sometimes you're wrong. And I
know I'm wrong.
In you.
I know I'm wrong, except this is one of those times that I know I was right.
Okay.
The fact that you won't give me the satisfaction of saying it, and you know it, and I know it, and as soon as we stop recording, you're gonna be like, that was a lot of fun.
If this is what's gonna make the best episode for you, I'll go ahead and do this. All right, everybody.
No,
unfortunately, I have to. He doesn't mean it. A bit of blame. I need to take a bit of accountability, as my co-host is pointing out to me. I guess I was wrong. I mean, he couldn't pull it up, but hey, you know what? This part of the podcast is sponsored by gaslighting. And this is how we do it.
For real. For real. For real.
Oh, see, the thing about having a therapist as a friend is I can use those terms and then you know what I'm doing, but you're not trying to like go up because then I win. But you know who still gets the win? Me. Because you had to go through the thought process of even figuring out what I'm doing. And you're like, oh, he's doing the thing. I can't tell him I know he's doing the thing. I can't show, I can't get frustrated, but I'm human.
Yep.
It's unfortunate that you're still human, man. It's
I'm in
unfortunate.
a double bind. It's the least favorite thing to be.
Mm, some double binds are pretty good.
Name one.
When the straps are at the four posts of the bed.
My man, that is not what I'm talking about. That is not.
You said double bind. You said you. Oh, so now I'm the bad guy. Can't get it right with you.
You're in a whole mood right now, and I'm on one hand, I really like it, and it's super annoying because like I get I just want you put me in the double bind, and a double bind is when a person it's kind of darned if you do, darned if you don't. Like you can't win because I can't call you out on it because you'll like just amp it up again, and I can't be like I don't know that you're doing the thing because you'll just then
I'm
like
not
you'll
doing a
sidestep
thing.
it. This is a whole bit.
It's
And
not
the
a
thing
bit. What's the bit? What's the thing? I love you, dude. Okay. All right, guys. I'm done. I'm done. I was wrong last week, like legit. But I still won. Do you see that? You see that? I still won.
I know that's that's why it's like what that felt like was the equivalent of someone like having some sort of like ice cream pop or something and be like, "Can I have some?" And you want the win, and they're like, eat it all the way to the bottom. And they're like, "Here you go." You like took all the fun out of it,
Ain't nothing but a little
and then
bit
you're
in
like, "Here you go." Like,
well, this
soda.
I left you the chocolatey bit. You
No,
know, from the cones. It's got a little chocolate. You're welcome.
mm-mm.
You just can't please
And
everyone.
I like how you end it. You just like summary. You're welcome. Like for what just transpired. Okay. I would like to read
Okay,
you
it
how
made
my
me
week
feel
was.
good.
It was
Okay,
great
yeah,
until
tell
then.
me, tell me, tell me, tell
Until
me.
then. The week was great until then. Until what just happened. Because I got the win, but it's not a real win. And it just
A win's a win. That's what the internet says. I take too much from the internet.
I don't really believe much in the internet.
A win's a win, right?
No, but if you know, like if you still it because the win you were hoping for is something than what you got and different than what you got. It's just
That sounds all right. Before we get there, I want you to tell your story. I don't want this to be my segue. Go. All right. So you
which
have an
story?
amazing thing coming up that is in your home now.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, no, we started to talk about it.
Yeah, I was gonna be like, what? I held up the dog. Like,
Well,
what?
did you re-hold it up?
All right, internet. Here you go. That's my dog. That's Penny. She's got the pink color, and she's awesome.
That's how we got here. I made a face.
Mm-hmm.
Because pink is boring.
Well, you made a face about like kids deciding the leash color, and I'm saying like I think
I
when
know
you have
because if
kids,
that kid chose something like chartreuse, totally on board.
all right, the kid that chose
It's
was
truly
4. You
because
think
is pink is basic.
it's a 4-year-old kid? What kid is out
He,
here being like, what color should we get? Chartreuse?
I don't think you
Like
want to ask that question. I don't think you want to ask that question because I have an example, and his name is me.
of a no, hold on.
I
4-year-old, you
literally
knew what
said
that
I
color
want
was?
emerald for the color of my room. Instead of saying green, I said I want emerald.
Oh, okay.
So I am that type of
okay.
yeah.
Okay.
I do the whole light show. I'm different. Okay.
It's a whole thing.
Proceed on with your amazing daughter.
So the puppy and my daughter's choice. My daughter's fantastic. She loves the color pink. And she likes to tell everyone that.
Now I feel bad. Now I actually feel bad.
No, she has a weird way of like telling what she likes. She's like, my favorite things are pink, unicorn, and sausages. And I'm like, okay. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
She just likes breakfast sausage. It's a weird
Yeah.
thing.
No. I mean
Like,
I don't think that's that weird. I mean, it's a little odd to state as like one of your favorite things in the world is breakfast sausage, but it's again,
it's but it's one of those things that's a big left turn when a kid is like, here's my favorite things, and you're like, oh, unicorns, pink, okay. And then she goes sausages, and you're like, wow, we took a just
I'm gonna need you
like,
to stop repeating that.
I'm telling you,
I want
kids,
to crack so many jokes and I can't.
dude,
As
I
a
know,
child,
because it's yeah, you can't.
I can't. There's so many
Exactly.
jokes. God damn it.
Yep. It's true.
I'm supposed to be fasting to get better and not have these moments. It's not a good start.
Mm.
I'm supposed to be holy right now. It started off demonic as all fuck. Oh, let's gaslight and then let's pick on this child.
Yep.
Oh. Okay. So
I'm
that's where
telling
my mental is at.
you. By the way, when you have kids, I need to hear their one-liners because your children, I'm sure, are just gonna be like, just
Dude,
firing off.
I'm gonna be writing them
Just
down. I'm gonna
like,
be writing them down.
I, because like you're much wittier and way sharper than I am, and my kids will still pull stuff out of
Whittier,
left.
smarter. Okay, we have a conversation about that.
I said
Yeah.
sharper, sharper.
You said
Said wittier and sharper.
I don't know why I thought you said smarter. I was like, that's not true. That's definitely not true.
You wanted to hear me. You wanted to hear it so bad that you heard it, even though it didn't happen. She's like, tell me, tell me I'm smart right now.
Continue your story.
So like my son, he will like one time he came up to me and his one liner was like, Dad, did you know I have two stomachs? One is just for French fries. And I was like, oh, like okay.
So you're a ruminant? You got
Like,
multi-stage?
what? I think that's what he meant. Like, no matter how full I am, there's
we got
always room for French fries.
I can just imagine he said it very satisfied. Like
He
proud
was
of
so
himself. I
proud.
always got
Yeah.
room.
It was
Just
it
pats
was
himself like a 50-year-old man. Just always room for fries.
the best part is now when we're like, are you full? Like, are you done eating? He like will lift up his shirt and like look at his stomach and see if it's like distended. And he'll be like, well, yep, probably.
Yeah. As soon as he unfastens his pants, it's he's done for the dinner time.
Yep.
Yeah, the
Yep.
slacks get a little too tight. I'll go ahead and call it a night.
He'll
If you could
like
read
go
me a
put his
bedtime story, that'd be fantastic. All right now. I don't know why he's a Westerner.
I
You
mean
could bring me a
it
glass of
fits.
milky, that'd be fantastic. All right.
It fits his whole persona. He's just
Oh gosh. It's kids are amazing, dude. I can't wait until I have kids, as you know. I
mhm.
super want to be a parent. So I talk a lot of shit. And it's the ones who talk the most shit prior to that really get the whole game fucked up.
Yep.
Because I'm not as tough as I once was. I already know that, and I don't have the kids. So now I'm like, as soon as the kid comes in, oh shit.
Yep.
I'm a pushover. But I'm not
Well, I
letting
mean,
pink happen. Pink, I'm standing on that. I'm standing on that. Bro, I'd rather do yellow. I'm
I'm
too bored of pink and blue.
I'm just well, yeah, I get that. I'm just saying like if your kid is the one saying, I would like this color. And it's like, because there's lots in
Square up.
parenting. There's lots of hills to die on in parenting. The
I'm
color of a collar is not one.
gonna die on every hill, dude.
No, you're not. You do not have that energy.
But
You do. I'm just telling you, there's
I
so
got
many
tired
hills.
just whipping up, so I'm like, yeah, you're not wrong. I was gonna be, you know what? Got it. Oh, I miss smoking.
All right, just get into the thing. Like, how's your week going?
Okay, so I'm doing a little fast. I'm abstaining from many of the pleasures that we like to trap ourselves in, whether that be gluttony of food, alcohol, drinking too much, or if you like me and live in California and trees are very plentiful to burn down, not like the ones in the woods, but like in the dispensary. Then
Like,
you might have you might learn that you partake a lot. It's good for the body to pull back in all of these things that we know are abusive to our system. So, and an overabundance of overly processed foods and chemicals being added in, or alcohol literally killing the kidney and livers, or smoking weed, which is, well, I've noticed it hasn't really hurt my lungs, but also my creativity. I gotta find the spark again. That's why I'm bored. I gotta find the spark. So like I'm antagonizing because I ain't got my vices. I got 10
like,
more days
I
of
like
this
that.
shit. And I'm like,
I like that I can help out. Like, don't you worry.
I
I've
don't
got you
think,
covered.
do you? Do you have me?
All right.
Internet, hold them
Oh,
accountable. Hold on.
new segment. There's just just go wild on just whatever towards me.
Okay. Are you sure about that? I mean,
Yeah.
you're good, but I'm like,
No, let's go for it. This could be fun.
okay. You gotta hit me with a topic silent, something like I'm on stage, like throw out a subject.
Hmm. I
Because
don't.
it'll probably be something like one. It'll be aggressive. It'll be an aggressive
Go
because
for
I
it.
use weed to kind of like chill me out, and when the world is fucked up, so I'm like sick and tired of it. So I just smoke my weed. I stay quiet in my room and hush. But also, this whole battle in between men and women needs to fucking stop it.
How does that have to do with me?
Oh, I'm just taking it like it's not necessarily you, but I thought it was just an open ear.
Oh, oh. So
I
I was
misinterpreted. I
saying
thought you were.
I was saying like put the if you're like
No, you're a
no,
good person. I don't do that. I only do that to the bad people.
but okay,
Send me bad people sometimes. Listen, I'm not
okay,
perfect.
okay. All right. So then just go like the men and women battle thing. What are you
What about
referencing?
it? This whole idea of everything's the same, or it should be the same. Never in the history of time has it been the same ever. We have
For
always held different things that are more important to us in general under the male female titleship,
okay,
wherein as much as, okay, one of the conversations that goes around is based upon like working and how that works. It doesn't make any sense to really even hold a conversation if your partner and you know one another.
okay.
This whole internet business doesn't make any sense to like be chirping like the standards of who lives what. We're terrible to one another. So it really comes down to how do you work the dynamic of your relationship? Some people
Okay.
are not going to like it. Some people are going to love it. Fuck
Okay.
either idea. Their outside opinion means not.
Mm,
So why are you bringing that into your home? No, because if the woman works, she's good at what she does and she's making money, why am I as a man feeling less manly because she makes money?
sure.
But if I am also better than her in some of the things that women are typically better than, now I'm supposedly not a man. Did you know that sewing was done by men to begin with? It wasn't a woman's job to
Hmm.
sew, to
I did
repair
not know
those
that.
type of things. In Jamaican culture, many of the men are the ones who do the cooking around. Like they bring home the bacon and they finish the job and cook it. The idea that there's just one set line in which to live in doesn't make any sense. The only line that's set is one that you make.
Hmm.
So why are we even having discussions about how people should be operating their relationships? Most of these people aren't even in relationships themselves giving advice. It's just fucking people hating, feeding other people hate.
Hmm.
It doesn't make any sense.
Yep.
It's it gets on my nerves, quite honestly. It doesn't make any sense. And they like to say, "Oh, well, then you're not really the man of the house." Can you tell me what the man of the house is?
I think it was a
Maybe I
show
don't
at
know.
one point in time.
A true man doesn't have to put on a show.
No, no, I think it was a literal show. Is it?
Yeah. Oh well,
Was it?
I'm not out here to keep up with the Joneses.
But I think you're onto something though, that people compare themselves a lot based on what they see and they ingest in entertainment and social media and just even just comparison to other people, like other friends. And they're like,
When
what?
are we going to realize that, especially when we talk about social media, these people are portraying something? Like to your point, it's a show.
Hmm.
Maybe people should start learning when they see their favorite couple get divorced after a year that, oh, I shouldn't hold them to a standard because it wasn't real.
Hmm.
I'm holding on to something that's not real. I don't believe in happy wife, happy life. I believe in happy spouse, happy house, which means it's a two-way street.
Hmm.
This is not going to be a system in which it's fully categorizing you as one thing to the point where you can't grow, and then me as
Hmm.
another to the point where I can't grow. We need to be able to grow together.
Hmm.
And putting up these type of columns, these type of walls, never going to allow you to leave. It doesn't make any
Hmm.
sense. I just can't stand it. And it gets the most views on the internet. And I'm just like, you guys sound fucking stupid.
So why? What's
Why
the
is
theory
it
on why is it so appealing to people then? If we know that by if we know that by having that perspective, it essentially imprisons us to dysfunction. Like we're stuck there now.
do you want the
It,
hard truth? People
well, I'm
love being
asking.
lied to.
Mm,
We tolerate it wholeheartedly
to
to the
what
point
end
where if
though?
somebody is telling us something truthful to our last week's episode of like showing love and things, where it's like, no, this can't be real. Everything else that I see has been. So this can't
Mhm.
be true affection. This can't be true love.
Yeah.
But then flip it and you're like, oh, that actually was. And I was listening to people who are fucking dumbasses and are getting paid to be dumbasses.
But if you know it's a lie and you know the result of it is just
Mm-hmm.
nothing good, why still go through with it? Like what's the point?
Because we love lies.
For what purpose?
That's how most people get through life.
Mhm.
is through the lies and hanging on to them in a way that keeps things to their status quo. It's
Okay.
hard to take like real truths. It's very difficult. And it's because of that difficult nature. Why would you want to do that?
Yeah.
We're always told life is supposed to be easy. It feels like you're not really working when you're working because you love it.
That's like one of the best ones of all time. Find
I,
something you love to do and you'll never work a day in your life. Like,
bro, that's just never been
no,
true.
nope.
That's never been true. Bro, there's something going around. Conversation about artists has it comes to this kind of sentiment of like they do what they love to a point that they can start making money off it, but then it's like commissions about doing something that's not their artistry, but now their name. It's like, oh, you just want it because my name's on it, not because I've created something for you. It
Mhm.
they fall into the trap.
Yeah.
You got to be honest with who you are from the jump, and that's
Mhm.
tough because most of us don't know ourselves.
Right. But
That's my frustration is this continual conversation by a bunch of people who don't, one, know themselves to even have the conversation, and then two, don't know enough other people to have the conversation.
yeah.
Where's your data?
Yeah.
Where's your receipts, as the kids
Uh-huh.
say?
I had showed my wife the when you're talking about people that really just don't have much of a business for like giving other people advice. I had showed her the Ricky Gervais like monologue from the Golden Globes in
Mm.
2020 when he was like,
Didn't he
"Come
go
up."
off in that one?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I
And he
remember
was
that one.
like, "Yeah, no." He was like, "You're no business to lecture anyone. So come up, accept your little award, and then get off." So it was kind of like in a way refreshing.
Shit, I don't even have the place to lecture people, but here I am because things still need to be talked about. The conversation has to be brought up. We can't really cut off the conversation before it's been brought up. That's my only problem with that is you don't have a chance to even bring certain things to light
Hmm.
where that one person who has gone through many experiences and has been through the trials and tribulations with other people, when they get up on that stage at that podium and they're talking, it's coming from experience. It's coming from a knowledgeable source. Because other
Hmm.
people don't get it, that shouldn't be taken away, or because they don't want to hear, subscribe to, or what have you. Just because that's a negative nature about it doesn't mean it shouldn't be spoken, because it's going
Yeah.
to eventually initiate change.
I I think it's like, I mean, kind of piggybacking off of last time too. Like it's hard for that humility and that vulnerability.
Mm-hmm.
So it seems so easy to always look at everyone else instead of starting with you and starting with what you need to work on. And it's always easy to find like, well, this would make my life happier with you, or vice versa, if this
Mm-hmm.
happened, or if this was different. It's always easy to find something else that makes
Mm-hmm.
me less responsible to change what I need to versus looking in the mirror and taking a look and going, what do I need to do differently? What do I need to address? You know?
And sometimes it's sobering up.
Hmm.
Hey, I had that self-reflective moment. That's the other part. It's a spiritual journey for me, as to why I'm doing the whole Daniel fast from way back in the beginning of the episode.
Yeah.
It's because there have been certain things through these vices that I have forced away that I haven't been dealing with, and I need to.
Hmm.
There's no
Yeah.
getting around it
Hmm.
because I truly want to improve and be better. This is something I have to do.
Mm.
So I would recommend that everyone take time to reflect. It's necessary for your life just as much as rest is necessary. Reflection, which is not rest, you have to put them in two different categories. Reflection is work and should be treated
Mm-hmm.
as such. Not
Yep.
necessarily the most loved thing, but it's got to be done.
Yeah, it's true.
I've been thinking about going back to school. I don't like it. I know I brought it up before. I'm just like, ugh. Because then, couple these skills with some school skills, and then be like, yo, she's about to take over the game. And I'm like, not really, guys. I don't like it that much to be like, I'm about to do all this. No.
But if here's the thing, you don't have to like it, but if there's purpose and meaning to what you think you're doing,
What did I just say too?
and mm-hmm, man,
Shut up.
this
Continue. I'm just like, oh fuck.
what I was about to say was, can we just sit with like, so this is like, so first of all, you said I love you earlier. I didn't say it back. Love you too. This is a really vulnerable talk stuff, right?
Yeah.
And we're putting it on the internet, which is a terrible idea. Like, because we keep the receipts for each other,
Uh-huh.
and then the internet might be like, you guys missed one. Like, and so when you're like, but I don't really want to, and it was one of those moments like,
I'm literally doing the thing in real time.
we're yeah, like, yeah, that's tough. But I think when there's that meaning and purpose in what you do and what you're about, and there's that humility that goes along with like, no one's perfect. We're all kind of working on it, and no one's got like the the sort of answer key for your life. You have to sort of work on your own life and find people that are going to join you in that healing, that growth,
Mhm.
and that journey. And then even the sort of spiritual journey as well. Like there's so much there to that,
Mhm.
but it's but it's like a deep work that happens on in people's lives when we live in a world that's like, no, 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 focus on all the surface stuff. Like, just
Mhm.
focus on things like materialism. That'll be
And it works? No, 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 no,
yeah,
no.
yeah. Like, here, like, take this. It's the way we do things, and
It's
then we
gold and
go
silver. You like that? I'm like, I don't like this.
right,
It's cool, but I'm like, I don't have a draw toward it.
right.
But it's funny that okay, so I didn't send you any prep for the week.
Hmm.
Nothing. It's funny we're having this conversation. What is purpose? How do we get trapped?
Oh,
I wrote that an hour before we started filming. Because I truly have the question of what is purpose? It's a
hmm.
conversation during my reflection that's come up a lot is what is my purpose? But before I get to what is my purpose, what is purpose? How do we truly quantify purpose? Make it how do we shrink the idea of purpose down to a point where it's understood? Because I think a lot of us have a misunderstanding of what purpose is.
Hmm. That is such a big existential question. Just,
A
um, here's what I can tell
couple
you.
hours of sobriety. Gonna do it.
Here's what I can tell you. And this is just my own, like there's a lot of people that will talk about purpose being related to the meaning that you attribute to life and what happens in it and how you see yourself interacting with it. So, like for me, um, I think I looked at purpose and like what is purpose? Like, so anytime someone's kind of like, well, what is my purpose? I typically am like, I think that's a very individual question. And I can't answer that for you because I don't know you. I don't know why you were created to be you or what makes you you or what your storyline is going to be. But
Hmm.
when I look at mine, I tend to think about it as like that sort of analogy of a book. Like when you get to the end of the book, what do you want the underlying message to be? What do you want the underlying themes of, like, what do I want the underlying themes of my life to be? And
Hmm.
for me it's kind of been like I want my life to be spent on just like caring for like those
Hmm.
around me, and I want my life to be spent on just making an impact on just my community, my friends, my family, and just
Hmm.
that. Like, I don't know what it looks like because it's going to be different because to some people
Yeah.
it'll be like, he might have made an impact on me because we loved playing a certain style of music together. Other people, it might be like, it'd be something that he did for us when we were not feeling well or something. But kind of leaving it open to like,
He
I just
did
want.
cocaine with me in the nightclub in the 80s. It was a fantastic time. So it was a good party.
It was
I still think
so,
about that guy. I think his name was like Braden or Britton or something. He was great though.
dude. We definitely need to have a cocaine reference tally,
Bro,
like
it's been
like a ticker, like a ticker on the wall or something.
people are gonna start asking questions. Why is it
Yeah, but
always
like,
cocaine? It's never methamphetamines.
mhm. And I think for me
It's a
that,
fun word.
like, when like when you talk about purpose, I think that those are also the ones that are also like the greatest regrets in my life are the ones where I negatively impacted someone.
Mm.
And those are usually the ones where I'm like, ugh, I wanted to kind of have the exact opposite, but I left a bad memory for you. Oof.
I don't think that's something to regret though, because it's putting you on a pedestal of like you can't fault.
No, well, let me put it this way. Like when I say negative, it's like the moments in my life where I knew right from wrong, good from bad, and chose like the negative and left a negative impact. And so those are usually the ones, not like, oh, I made an honest mistake. Like, oh, I accidentally ran into them with my bike and sorry, left a literal negative impact on you. Um
You ran this person over. They're looking at their broken arm every day. Fucking
no, but it's
guy.
it's like the ones where I'm like, I knew what I was doing when I did it. When like you're you're
Did
like
you
treating that person.
apologize?
Hmm?
Did you
Yeah.
apologize? Oh, then
Oh
why are
yeah.
you regretting it still? Mm.
It's a hard thing knowing that like you intentionally did something like really like like
It has to come from the same sincere point is how I end up looking at it. If I am doing something maniacal and I am
Mhm.
very much aware of what I'm doing,
Mhm.
I think that my efforts with what I did, that should be replicated in how I apologize.
Oh,
It
fair
needs
enough.
to match.
Yeah.
So if I ran someone over, I try and pay your medical bills. I do the best I can. Cause I'm like, all right,
Yeah.
I put you in a predicament. I was on my phone. I knew I shouldn't have been on my phone. We got to
Mhm.
figure this out. I have to
Yeah.
make some parallel of an apology because I
Sure.
don't do regrets. That's one thing that I've come to know is I just don't do regrets. So if there is something that I have an inkling towards, my body usually lets me know. One, two,
Yeah.
I go out of my way to fix that. Not just because I know I need to apologize, but I also know I don't like
Yeah.
this feeling that's come over me, guilt, shame,
Mhm.
and alike,
Mhm.
absolutely deplorable. And I
Yeah.
know what they went through was even worse than what I'm going through. So
Yeah.
I got to match energy.
Yeah. No, that's a good point. I will say that on the purpose topic too, by the
Mhm.
way, I actually think that's a uniquely sort of spiritual question that requires a spiritual answer for each person, because it starts like the definition of purpose for a lot of people usually starts before a person is even around and goes farther than when they just pass away. So it's like this.
I don't consider that their that's not their purpose though. That's purpose placed upon them. I'm thinking like a baby, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
a parent is like, yo, I'm gonna love this child more than anything, and they're gonna love me, and our like we're gonna be love for one another. That's gonna be purpose. But that's something you're placing upon that
true,
child that doesn't exist quite yet. But you're like
true.
doing so much so that can negatively impact them as they grow up because they're like, well, I'm never going to leave home because why leave home when all my love is here? Like, doesn't make any sense. Why would I do that? But then you recognize,
Right.
oh, I have mommy issues or some shit. Like, it's a whole
Mhm.
problem. Or
Right.
the evaluation of that just makes me think that's not purpose. What is that term? There's a term for it.
Expectations.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, expectation. That's more of
Hmm.
an expectation is that you
Right.
continue to pass, live up to that. But it's like, I don't like you. Fuck off.
Yeah.
I don't want to be around you. But no, you're supposed to be here to love me. That's our purpose. No, no, no. That's what you did. So
Yeah.
for that, fuck you.
Yeah. I guess I'm more trying to point out, like, I feel like it's a big question that
Oh, I mean
like
that
it's
too,
like you have to like
nonetheless.
zoom out and get a bigger sort of
Yeah,
perspective
yeah.
to define purpose.
How? That's a question for another time. Is like because a lot of people don't even know how to look at the bigger picture. They're stuck at
Yeah.
what's in front of them, and it's
Hmm.
like, but you have to pull yourself out
Hmm.
and see where you are. Like you said, it is a full spiritual journey that coincides with it, where it's like you really have to pull out of your body and just kind of take a view of the landscape, like what's actually going on here.
Right.
It's why.
I I think a good start when people, like, for me,
Mm-hmm.
do with it what you will. But I think something that always helps I think something that always helps get perspective is looking at like historical context.
Yeah.
Like, so for example, anytime one of the things that was like during COVID was amazing to me was how many people that were like, why are so many minorities not getting this vaccine? And I would always be like,
You ever heard of the
if you don't
Tuskegee
know,
experiment?
yeah, if you don't know, you do not know. But we need to go back in time, and it will make today, what happens today, make sense because of what happened before.
Literally
Just
injecting people with syphilis and just
mhm.
not saying nothing just to see what's gonna happen.
Yeah. Just the amount of times that
I
like,
darted eyes so much. Like,
mhm.
you don't know? Oh, I mean, I eventually got it because I wanted to take my trip, and it's the only way the plane was going to let me go. I wasn't driving to Florida from Minnesota. Fuck that. Like, so I was like, all right, let me just do
It's,
these shots because I was supposed to go to the Bahamas that year.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Never, still
I
haven't been. Sad about it.
really
Huh. The world's been too
sad.
crazy. It's all right though. I'll figure it out.
Yeah. But that, I think that's always a good start. It's just like, how does it make, just starting to look at it, like zooming out,
Context.
like,
Yeah,
yeah,
that's fair.
like,
That's fair.
yeah,
All right,
like
y'all.
any.
Oh, you got one more. I was going.
Oh no, no, it's we can end there. I just said more
I
examples
got
of what.
I got more that does pertain to part of this because one of the other things that I wrote is fear is tricky. So I think part of that leads into the rest of this conversation. So we can pick up with that here next week after I give a little bad advice because I am like 3 weeks of not doing bad advice. Fuck. real quick, bad advice for all the parents out there. You better have it all figured out. Before that kid gets here, figure it out. How dare you be human and make mistakes? How fucking dare you? Oh, yeah. How dare you? Guys, take a break. It's okay. You don't have to have it figured out, especially for the young ones. Whoever tells you, they're lying. They didn't have it figured out. That's why the kids hate them. So tell them to fuck off and go about your business. All right, y'all. Peace and love. We'll see y'all next time.